Welcome back. We have an author joining us on the show this afternoon. His name is Werner Gysi. He's a bee expert and the author of this book right here. It's called Harmonic Farming Bees. And so we're going to learn a little bit today about what it takes to be a beekeeper. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Nice to be here again.
It's nice to be here. You know what? This is the first time I've had you on the show since it's been me as the host.
Right.
I think Tracy Pelizzari had you on.
That's right.
So tell me a little bit about the world of beekeeping. It's not something I know a lot about.
All right. Well, I first have to mention that I'm on a mission to save the bees because it looks like we are running into a problem that the bees are mysteriously disappearing. And I haven't really met that problem is my apiary because I'm treating my bees in a holistic way. That means I'm not using chemicals, I'm not using antibiotics, but I use management and I feed them teas. So that's kind of the holistic approach that I try to bring forward.
What kind of tea, like Earl Grey?
Almost. Actually, whatever fits you. If you have a cold, you drink chamomile tea. If the bees have a cold, it's called nosema. I would feed chamomile tea. But in the fall, I give them a tea of oak bark, valerian, and then a little bit of horsetail. This is a mixture that I feed in the fall, just to keep them happy and healthy.
What is the rest of the world doing wrong when it comes to beekeeping? If they're not handling this in a holistic manner, the commercial beekeeping practices are not working. Why?
Right. I've done this for 30 years now without any antibiotics or any other treatment, but just management. The reason why it works for me, first of all, I'm not living in a highly agriculture intensive area, so I don't have to worry about sprays. And I would actually like to address the people that have a yard in the back and want to kill their dandelions, that they should not use a heavy pesticide, because they also kill the insects that are flying around, including the bees. So that is one reason why a lot of bees disappear, and that colony collapse disorder that has happened to a drastic amount in the United States has not really taken place in Canada as much, but because we might not also spray as much as they do in the United States. So that is one problem. The other problem is the varroa mite. That is a mite that is really decimating the bee population.
And when you say bee, do you mean honeybees specifically?
Honeybee, yeah, that's in particular the domestic honeybee now,
Yes.
where the mite actually sits on the bee and feeds on the bee, and then after the bee has been infected, other parasites could also kill the bees. So the varroa mite is something that we have to look after, and I do that with management, but there is also chemicals used. There is Apistan, where the mite has become actually resistant to, so they use Comafos or any other product, but some product that has a base on a chemical, which with the cocktail that they get from people spraying, then the chemicals that they apply to the bees, they're really getting too much of one at once, and their immune system is not very strong. Insects have not a strong immune system, and so with all this pampering, the bees are not strong enough to withstand.
You were just telling me off air that in Kamloops you can actually be a beekeeper. There's rules to adhere to, but you can actually do this in your own backyard.
That's right. It states in, I read that in I googled it, and there is the bylaw, I think it's 34 something, and it says, it's written in 81, but it says 20 feet from your property line away you could have a beehive without any problems. But I wouldn't really recommend just to force the issue. I would really talk to the neighbors as well and make sure that they don't have an objection, because you don't want to have a twist.
It could quickly upset your neighbors,
right? It could upset them. Yeah.
Let's talk about the fact that this book is it's just been published. We're going to get a close-up of it right now. You're actually heading after this to a book signing or a reading chapters. Did you say?
That's correct.
Nice.
Right after. Yeah. And I also actually give a presentation at the Kamloops Adult Learners Society at the Brook Shopping Center. And that is from 10 to 12 on April the 25th. That's a Wednesday this month.
Okay, last question. Could be the most important one of the segment. How many times have you been stung?
Plenty, but
Yeah.
I also do mention I don't wear any protection. I did wear protection in the beginning as a beekeeper,
Right.
and that was most probably wise. But now, because my bees are very gentle, I tune into them. I have a lot more intuitive feeling than I had when I started this. And of course, you always have to have that feeling. You can't just go with a big hammer, and your movements have to be very gentle.
Okay.
So yeah.
I appreciate you being on today. We are out of time. If you want to learn more, you want to pick up a copy of Werner's book, you can obviously head over to Chapters. I'm sure they're for sale at Chapters,
Yes,
if that's
indeed.
the case.
Yeah, and I signed today too.
And signing today. All right, ghouliemooly.com if you want to learn more. It's kind of a fun little website name. Thanks for being here today, Werner.
Thank you so much.
All right. When we come back, we will have your one-day weather forecast. Stay with us.